guys know Calvin Candy from the Django Unchained, right? Well, that one particular quote he says,
"You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention."
That one, that's how I felt about Cruella. Because the second it was announced, I was like, I do not need to see this. I don't want to see this. Then I saw the director of I, Tonya was doing it. I'm like, okay, you have my curiosity. And then, yes, Emma Stone gets cast as Cruella. Well, now you have my attention. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today I'm going to be discussing Cruella, the latest Disney live-action film, of course, once again starring the likes of Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, Joel Fry, and of course Paul Walter Hauser. This is once again directed by Craig Gilsby, who I am a major fan of from I, Tonya. If you still haven't seen that film, you need to. And this is of course the prequel, the origin story to Cruella de Vil herself, the infamous villain who wants to skin and kill puppies, and again, a villain that I didn't think we ever needed a story behind the evilness of her. You know, I've been very hit or miss with a lot of these Disney live-action movies. Look at Maleficent, a movie that I absolutely hate. Hated both of them. Don't like them at all. But then you have some other Disney live-action films like, say, Mulan, Aladdin, and especially Jungle Book that really do win me over. But I've been wanting them to go a little bit different, say in the vein of Pete's Dragon, which is probably the most unique and different type of Disney live-action film we've gotten until Cruella. Cruella sets itself apart from all the others because of its wonderful directing that I will definitely talk a lot more about in just a second, and of course Emma Stone's performance. This is hands down probably and arguably the best Disney live-action film yet. And I think we get a lot of that comment in particular throughout every single one of them as they are coming about, but seriously, Cruella is here to stay, and it seriously is the best one yet. I've seen the film twice at this point, and I can't wait to see it a third time. I was floored and absolutely blown away from this movie. Of course, if you guys are new here and you guys love talking movies just as much as I do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as comment down below your favorite Disney live action film yet, and as well as your thoughts on Cruella. I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this one, because everyone else I've talked to who have seen the film as well also enjoyed it, and it seems like everyone's going to kind of have the same cons as it comes down to this movie. Once again, Cruella is the live-action prequel feature film following a young Cruella de Vil before all of her evil antiques that she did in 101 Dalmatians. Now, fun fact, I didn't know this, but one of my good friends, Tessa of the channel from Mama Geehies, she talked about and let us know that at the press conference, they confirmed that this is a younger version of Glenn Close's Cruella de Vil. This isn't just a prequel to the animated 101 Dalmatians, it's actually a prequel to that live action film, which I like, I enjoy. I didn't grow up with him in particular, but Glenn Close is so good in the role. She's a great actress. So again, going into this, Emma Stone taking on this role, that's a heavy heap for some people who have a lot of nostalgia for that film. And again, she puts her own twist and spin on this character, but also honing it and feeling like she really is Cruella de Vil. And seeing her origin story here, it's not just quite riveting but emotional. You really feel for Cruella and you actually come to side with her, but at the same time kind of hate her too. She's crazy. She's a despicable villain, and they don't steer away from that. They don't make you feel bad, well, maybe sometimes because they have to, but in the end of the day, she still is the Cruella de Vil that we know. And seeing how she gets to that point is quite interesting, because in a sense, she's always been kind of evil or diabolical in the end of the day. But I love that about her, and the way that Emma Stone was able to play her was fascinating. I mean this. If the Oscars were tomorrow, now again, we haven't had too many films come out yet this year, so I'm not saying this is going to happen when the Oscars actually do happen, but if the Oscars were tomorrow, Emma Stone would be nominated and probably win. She transforms into this character to the point where you don't see Emma Stone anymore, you see Cruella de Vil. And I love that. I loved her transformation into this. And it's not just, again, her performance, but everything that kind of goes on the technical and production side. The production design's exquisite, amazing, brings this whole entire town and city to life, but as well as the dramatic flares that it adds into it. Because in a sense, I've seen some things that, oh, is this kind of like Joker, but like Disney version? Maybe in a sense I can see that, but this is very much more of the likes of a Goodfellas meets Devil Wears Prada. And I ate that all up in every single avenue. And it was just so entertaining. And again, the stylish costume design, the makeup, all of that things really bring this to life. Craig's direction is also the big star of this all, and really much the big thing that holds the entire film together, while at the same time making it feel different than everything we've seen before from the Disney live action films that have come about. And again, a lot of them are hit or miss for me, and it seems like there are a lot of hit or miss for other people. Some people really love some of them, and some people absolutely hate them, and there's people who absolutely hate them all. But Cruella, I think, kind of changes it up and shows, and I feel like if audience members really love this, this is the way that Disney should go about in their live action films. If you want to tell a unique story, get a unique filmmaker to tell that story in his own snappy and stylish way, and that's what Craig does here. Even though he has his Martin Scorsese isms that he put in I, Tonya, he has his own style here that very much makes the film stylish and snappy and slick to every point and way. And there's even a cool little heist element to it all that just adds it in such a grand way as well. Plus, of course, even though those two are the main stars, the other cast members in here are great. Emma Thompson is always pushing with a flair and having such great charisma, but at the same time, she's technically the villain of this movie, and you feel it from the second she walks in and she just owns the screen. It really much is two Emmas battling each other for that screen presence, and they're just grand with one another when they are on scenes together. Also, the likes of Joel Fry and Paul Walter Hauser as Jasper and Horace, they make for such a phenomenal little team behind Cruella, and I really like the way that they brought those characters to life, and even some of the fun little Easter eggs they place inside of here that, of course, go to the future of 101 Dalmatians. It's just really awesome, and I was truly surprised by this. I had my interest and attention because of the cast and the director involved, but I still didn't feel that hype for Cruella. But leaving the theater, I was like, damn, this is a game changer for Disney live action movies. We'll say, even though I loved most of the movie, I do have cons with some of it. Just like every movie, no film's perfect. But with this one in particular, I feel like a lot of people are going to feel the same thing, and all these kind of go hand in hand with one another. First off, the film is 2 hours and 14 minutes. It did not need to be this long. It probably would have been almost a near perfect Disney live action film if it was an hour and 45 minutes. I feel like there was enough to cut out there that really would have not taken away at all from the story going on, because a lot of the story and a lot of its beats do get a little bit predictable and even in a sense repetitive. There's this heist element to it all that, while fun, I feel like if you would have done one more rewrite of the draft, you could have gotten rid of maybe one or two of the heist elements, because it does get, again, repetitive in those instances, and it would have really shortened the time, but still gotten across multiple plans, in fact, that she was setting up, and I do feel like that would have made the film for a more grand time. Even adding there, once again, I did mention that predictable element. I found almost every story beat, while again, maybe kids won't predict it away, I think adults and even film critics who sit there and are like watching them like, okay, this is going to happen like 20-30 minutes from now. And it did. And every single element just builds from there, and you know exactly where it's going before the film plays it off in that style. I think all of those elements mix into the script, because while I think those heist moments that were repetitive could have easily been ripped out, if you rip them out in this film, I think it would have made some continuity errors. So that's why I feel like the script is the biggest issue with the movie. Not a terrible script, just a little bit more of a rewrite, one more strengthening it all together to make it a little bit more stronger in its longer output, and overall would have made the film near perfect. Even with that said, Cruella still is the most creative, stylish, and snappy Disney live action film yet. In fact, it might even be my favorite one. I literally walked out of the theater and wanted to watch this movie again, and I went home and watched it again. This is a must-see in theaters for the fascinating directing that Craig puts into here, and the incredible performance from not just Emma Stone, who really much is the show-stopping power in here and truly was my favorite person in this, but Emma Thompson and the rest of the supporting cast are also all phenomenal. I adored Cruella. I think a lot of you guys are going to be quite surprised with this one. Seriously, I went in with like low expectations, still trying to be excited, checking any expectations at the door, and I walked out going, holy shit, that was awesome. And with all that said, guys, I am going to give Cruella an A-. Again, besides the length and some of the script issues I had, this was just a fascinating movie, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be quite surprised just as much as I was. They had my curiosity, they grabbed my attention, and it definitely paid off. More Disney live action films like this, please. But guys, of course, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section, so make sure to comment down below. Are you excited for Cruella? Does this get you more hyped? Let's hear about it down there. It is premiering on Disney Plus Premiere Access this week, as well as in theaters, so you got 2 different ways to watch the entire movie. Make sure to head on over to Samsung Films on how to see films early, and of course, it's a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I would not be able to do this. So guys, of course, until next time, stay classy.